Ciao a tutti and welcome to Venice Talks, a podcast series dedicated to Venice in Italy. I'm your host, Monica Cesarato, a Venetian food and travel blogger. Join me as I share my insider knowledge to help you explore Venice at 360 degrees. In this weekly podcast, we'll dive into the heart of a city, uncovering hidden stories and connecting with the people who make Venice unique. The artisans, the writers, the fashion designers, the bloggers, the journalists, and more. Let's break free from cliché and discover the true essence of Venice, not just the monuments, but the vibrant people, the Venetians. Experience Venice the right sustainable way. You can find me on my blog at www.monicacesarato.com and across all social media platforms. Enjoy the episode and let's journey through Venice together. Welcome back to Venice Talks, Season 4, Episode 9. Hi everybody, welcome back to another episode of Venice Talks. Today, I'm going for something totally different. I'm going to interview the girls from Maranteghe, which is a shop a bit different in Venice. I have here with me Laura Gamba, and this shop, she owns it with Sara Carlette and Miriam Balladelli. And ciao Sara, how are you?
Ciao Monica, it's all good, thank you. Thank you for inviting us for this interview.
First of all, I got to say, I'm interviewing Laura because she actually stopped me on the road and she said to me, I love your podcast. How could I not interview somebody that says that to me?
No, I've been listening to it a lot and I loved all the episodes. They are all so interesting, so different, and I'm learning a lot from, fellow people and business owners in Venice. So
it's so nice. So first of all, let's talk about Maranteghe. It is a shop which I'm so happy you opened. I know there are others, but I'm always happy when young people start new enterprises in the city because you show that the city is alive and kicking. Okay, so what is Maranteghe and where does the word come from? Because it's so particular and it's got such a particular meaning in Venice.
Oh, yeah. So Maranteghe is the name of the store. We have two stores actually. Now we opened one last year and the first one 2 years ago. So we celebrated our second year in Venice last month. Maranteghe is a Venetian word, let's say like a Venetian slang word, and it means basically is an ironic, slightly ironic term to say like a witch, like an old grumpy lady, almost, like Befana-like. So it's it's a bit dismissive sometimes, but for us it has a special meaning because we feel like we are Maranteghe as well. And we actually being open to many people who come into the store, also locals. We discovered that a lot of people use Maranteghe as a nickname to call their friends or their moms or their daughters.
Of course.
But it's interesting because also etymologically it has a deeper meaning that connects to the old traditions of folklore of Venetians. Because Maranteghe, it can also mean madre antica, so it's like ancient mother. So there is a lot to cover in that term. But yeah, like in a pop way, it's just a grumpy old stylish lady, let's say.
Which is not what your shop is, because your shop might be a vintage shop because we haven't said yet what it was. So you're talking about old stuff, but it's not a grumpy or crumpy shop.
Yeah. Well, I've had somebody lately coming into the store and saying, I think a really nice phrase that describe it a little bit. She said it's fun, but it's classy. So we like to be fun and playful, but also we have these like very amazing clothings that are also very like chic and connected to like the Venetian style, and
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, we like to think that Maranteghe it was the correct term to embody
Turn to use.
this.
Okay. So it's more than a shop, as we were trying to explain, is because it's a vintage shop, but it's not really, it's something a little bit more. How did the adventure begin for the three of you? First of all, how do you know each other, and why did you start to go into, I mean, I know the vintage right now in Italy, something in the last, let's say, maybe 10 years, 15 years, we shifted from second-hand store to vintage. But it's slightly different a vintage store than a second-hand store, right?
Yeah, I mean, we have both vintage and second-hand articles. It depends more by the decade. Also, something we also sell like new stuff that haven't been used that are more recent. So we like to have a bit of everything. We're not really focused on one category. We just keep what we like in store, what we think it's interesting. It has a story, and so we like also sartorial. We're not really attached to brands, or even though it's Italy is about that as well.
Of course.
And everything started actually in 2021.
Okay.
Miriam, she began with other two friends to open a store online.
Okay.
She has a background. Well, she's a professional web designer and social media manager. So
she's stealing my job. Oh, I should ask her to collaborate. Actually, I don't have to call her.
Yeah, she's great. She's really, really, really good. And so she came up with the concept for selling online. Also because it was during the pandemic, so there wasn't this idea of opening a physical shop. And after a couple of years, me and Sara joined. Sara has been working a long time for a corporate job in the mainland, and she wanted to, just change, and she decided to do that in Venice. So we met here. I am a graphic designer and illustrator, so we come from very different backgrounds.
So none of you three come from the fashion world.
Well, I did some courses in London at the St. Martin's school, and I did some work on more like costumes than fashion stuff. But we are all very passionate about it. But yeah.
And by the way, if you meet Laura on the street, I haven't met Miriam Sara, but I met Laura on the street, and my God, yes. When I'm talking about she might not have really strictly a background in fashion, but trust me, you'll notice her. Because you dress amazing, and I assume you were wearing stuff from your shop.
Yeah. I steal from my shop a lot, and
you steal.
Or sometimes borrow.
Okay, yeah. Well, it's displaying, it's showcasing the product.
Exactly.
Okay? It's marketing.
A living advertising.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, no, it's so much fun. So we all have fun, and we think that fashion as a individual expression, and why not?
So you were saying in 2021 you decided to kind of get into this, and you is that when you opened you opened the first shop 2 years ago, you said, in 2024. Yes.
But we started actually in 2022 to organize little markets also in our own houses and gardens.
Okay.
We participate to some events, also in some like hotels here in Venice. We started to create something to draw also the logo, and to develop the concept and elevate it. And then the turning point for us was in winter 2023, because we opened let's call it a pop-up. It was a space that we got for 1.5 months. And we set it up in like 5 days.
Okay. Well, listen, when there is passion and the will, anything can be achieved. Okay, there is no stopping us, people,
Yeah.
when we decide to do something. Okay,
That's
so
true.
I
Also,
get
a lot
you.
of unawareness played a part,
Mhm.
but yeah, we were convinced that it was the right thing to do in that moment. Also, because we found the three of us in a moment in which we could have time to do that. So it was a lucky circumstance, let's say. Also, it's not easy,
Mhm.
to find um, three people who wants to set up a store from nothing in 5 days. Just
Well, first of all, that's not easy, generally speaking, in any country, in any city, in any town, whatever. But secondly, in Venice, where for a start, it's hard to find a location
oh
because it's
yeah,
not so much in 5 days, it's to find a location which is
no,
affordable,
yeah, yeah.
in the right spot, in the right condition. I mean, obviously you can find it, but it probably is under the water or
No, yeah,
something
it's
like that.
true. Oh, well, yeah, because that little space that we had for that month, it was a lucky find because a friend of us had the place. So through
Mhm.
connections, we could do that, and I will always be thankful for that. But then we opened the first store, and in the research for the place in that case it was a bit different, and even more for the second store. But
Mm.
going back to the pop-up,
Yeah.
I think that was the time in which we realized that it could have been something real,
Mhm.
because we started to see people, both Venetians, locals, students, but also visitors and tourists, really
Mhm.
liking the place, even though it was, just like a little market,
Yeah, of course.
like Christmas market almost. So the reception has been so great, and we started also to build not only, like a little business, but also a community, because
Mm.
uh, we were like organizing aperitivi for like any occasions we could find
Nice,
uh,
cool.
interesting. We celebrated the Epifania, which is
Yeah,
a
it's
traditional party in at the beginning of the year that
yeah.
celebrates the new year. So we also started to make our own t-shirts. Uh,
Cool.
and we found that people really were there, and were enthusiastic as us. So that's when we thought maybe we could open a real shop this time, not in 5 days, but
Yeah, of course, a little bit,
yeah.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you found the location. So the first shop you open is where?
The first shop is in Cannaregio, Campiello della Cason. It's in
Okay.
a very beautiful little campiello. It's like a little
Yeah,
square with
yeah.
a
With a
beautiful.
beautiful osteria right in front of you.
Yeah. That's they are our only neighbors.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful location. I love that place.
Yeah. It's
It,
an
it
historical.
reminds me what I think is, if somebody want to understand what Venice would have been really like about 300-400 years ago, that's the place to go.
That's
That
the thing.
Campiello with a tree in the middle, and and thing tiny, quiet.
Yeah.
You only go there. So you actually are. Where are you, on the corner then, or where?
Yes, right on the corner. It's you wouldn't even say that is a shop if there wasn't like a sign outside, because it's
Ah, okay, it's a normal door. Okay, I think I
yeah, it's a
saw.
door with a window.
Okay, I understand. I understood where you are. And what about the second one that you opened then? Where is that?
Second one is just 2 minutes away towards Santa Maria Nova, close to the one of the most beautiful churches in Venice, Chiesa dei
Mhm.
Miracoli. It's just one bridge away, basically.
Ah, cool.
And
As they say,
that,
casa bottega, as they say in Venetian, house and
yeah,
shop.
yeah. Yeah, we like
Talking about it, sorry, house and shop. Talking about this, you might, guys, as you, the people listening over there, all of a sudden you might hear a doorbell, and Laura's gonna disappear for a second because she's actually waiting for a delivery, right?
yeah, these are like our like paper bags with the logo that I'm waiting for, because I'm basically living in the storage room of the shop. So
okay, let's carry on.
It's a work thing.
There's three of you.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously you must have totally different personalities. How does how each personality influences the selection of the pieces? Because I assume it's not simply just you take everything that arrives in the shop. There is a selection. So how do you pick them? Who decides?
So the selection can be done both when people come into the store with pieces they want to sell, or many times we go to houses and palaces in Venice to pick what we like.
Oh, people call you and they say, look, I got stuff to throw away or to sell, whatever.
Yeah, it's the most fun part of yeah, we're very different, and sometimes we fell in love with one piece and we're all super into it. But and sometimes maybe there's one person who likes one thing, and there are funny moments in which we say,
nah.
okay, if you really believe in that, let's go for it. But then if it stays in the shop for 3 months,
you'll take it home.
Blame on you. But yeah, but that's the nice thing about our shop, I think, also because it has a lot of different interesting styles. So there is diversity, and because each of us have a very different eye and taste. So
yeah. Also because people don't realize, but right now in Venice is happening what's happening all over the world. Really, is all become, let's say, standardized. Everything looks the same. Everybody's wearing the same stuff. Every shop sells practically everything the same. But back in the days, the Venetians, we're talking about going back maybe 30 years ago. Venetians dressed very nicely. There are some really nice, there is some nice stuff out there. And not necessarily just branded, even just, as you say, sartorial, not the brand, but, a good tailor,
Yeah. We had a lady the other day actually talking about that. She was saying that Venetians 30, 40 years ago would go to some like places, restaurants, or the Harry's Bar, for example, an historical place in near San Marco, and they would dress very well. They would stroll around the city, and because in Venice you cannot really take there are taxis, but it's easier to walk sometimes.
Yeah, of course.
So you will see these people, but locals, Venetians, dressed very well in very fancy ways, going to have dinner. And now it's a bit different. So we like to think that our shop contains some of that past as well.
So listen, when people bring you the garments, do they stay and tell you all the story about them sometimes?
Yeah, it happens very often, especially during when we go to their houses and places, because we can really have a chat with them, and it's sometimes it's emotional because they would tell you, the exact time they wore something. Like I remember we had a very, very nice suit from this man who said to us that has worn that like half day during his wedding, because then he ran away with his wife in the honeymoon. And the second time it was only when the Fenice, the theater, reopened after the fire.
Wow. Wow.
And once we had a dress in the store, and somebody said that dress that where her mom had the exact same dress that she would wear only when she took the train. So that was the train dress.
Oh my God, this is so funny. I mean, I knew about the Sunday dress. I didn't realize there were also train dresses. Okay, this is cool.
So she took a picture and she sent it to like everybody. So yeah, there are many, many stories, and they're always also fun to tell if the customer likes and is maybe trying the garment, and the mood is right. You can also tell a little bit of the story of the the clothing.
Which is actually really what Maranteghe is anyway, because Maranteghe is also a group of women that just gossip, the
Oh yeah,
gossipers, the beachy gossipers,
yeah,
actually, not just gossipers, the beachy gossipers. I mean,
yeah. The
it's really
hardcore
funny.
gossip.
I love it. I love his name. He's also got a beautiful role, okay, on the tongue. But I am still thinking as I'm interviewing you, or how I can explain to English people or English speakers what the term is, because actually there isn't really a translation. I don't even think it's really, it's not even a feeling. Okay, all I can describe it is to you guys out there, think of your nonnas standing on a window next to another nonna on another window next door, with another nonna opposite side on a window, chatting about the people passing downstairs. This is it. That's what Maranteghe are,
Yeah,
right?
that's Maranteghe.
But it's your typical, but oh yeah, I love it. I'm still thinking about the name. I love it. Listen, Venice, obviously we all know is fast tourism. Unfortunately, you went the other way. You went slow, local, personal. Was this actually something that you did it with a conscious? So it was an act of resistance, or it just happened?
Well, no, it was also an act of resistance in terms that I like to think of our shop almost as a microcosm within the
Mm-hmm.
Venetian macrocosm.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel that we have this responsibility when we own like a corner of Venice open to the world to
Mm-hmm.
be connected to the city and not to just be a place that sells the same mass-produced
Of
cheap
course.
souvenirs.
Of course.
So yeah, and it's for me it's really sad to see Venice full of these places.
Mm.
I mean, there's a space for everyone, but sometimes these activities, these businesses has more space in places like Rialto, San Marco,
Yeah,
and but in Venice there are so many beautiful little places of artisans, artists, and
I know.
or ethical shops, and they're always confined. A bit like us into very like hidden corners
Yeah,
and
which is beautiful on one side, is hard on the other because of course you don't get a passing tourism, but at the same time it's good because you don't really want the passing tourism. You want
no, it's
the
true.
one you want the people that come and look for you. I just think you should really what you people like you or young people like you and all the artisans and whatever, you really need a little bit more support from the administration of a
Mhm.
city. But never mind,
Mm.
another week, and
Yeah,
then maybe things will change. Oh, actually, it's not this weekend, isn't it? Okay, so
yeah.
it's even better. Have you all three of you are Venetians? Yes.
No, we none of
Oh,
us is like truly Venetian. Actually,
okay.
we all come from the mainland, but we.
Oh, you're Venetian. Oh, come on, let's stop with this. Venetians. I hate that because I'm from the countryside as well. Okay.
All right. So yeah,
As Marisa Convento say, Venetians are not just the people born and live in Venice. Venetians, everybody that work and love Venice. Okay.
we definitely
Work for and love Venice. Okay.
we do love Venice. I think that if we didn't love deeply the city of Venice, we wouldn't be here because you
But you
really
know
have to
what?
love it to stay here.
Yeah, because it's a very complicated city. But it's one thing I also realized that I think, and I hope the Venetians not gonna get upset about this, but they don't listen to the podcast anyway, so it's fine. Um, I just feel that people like us, that we are from the outside, and we make an effort to. I mean, you obviously do you live in Venice now, girls, or do you
Yes,
actually?
yes, we do live in
Okay,
Venice.
so it's hard to live in Venice. But let's say even if you were coming in every day to go to work, I think people that from the outside, we kind of, I'm not saying that we love Venice more, but maybe we make more of an effort to understand it and love it. We just don't take it for granted. When
Mhm.
instead, I think sometimes Venetians, they're just so used to the beauty of Venice that is like, oh, well, it's here, it's us, it's ours. When from the outside, maybe we kind of work a little bit harder to make it, but that's my take. Listen, Let's go to another question. What happens when somebody enters the shop and they got no idea what they're looking for? Do you have them? Do you let them browse and let them get on? What happens?
So we have very different kinds of customers. So from the, let's say, loyal regular who comes every week, and sometimes people like expressively ask for a type or a brand, and we are directly in contact with them, notifying them if something arrives that could interest them. So there are those, and then there are tourists, visitors who just want to have a look, and then maybe they pick something that it is like a souvenir because it comes from Venice wardrobes. And then there are young people, students, because it has been very popular as well, the vintage, I think,
Oh yeah, yeah.
experience too. So
Yeah.
it's really there is a lot of diversity in that too. We certainly like to tell the story if there is one of what we have in the store, but we also sell our own T-shirts with our. Sometimes we do limited edition prints.
Oh, nice.
So there is really anything for everyone. Well, the Biennale opening week was very interesting that it just passed because we had a lot of
Oh my God, there were some weird people
yeah,
around. And
great
it hasn't finished yet because yesterday I was sitting at Sbarleffo where we met,
yeah.
and this beautiful girl passed with this guy, and we all like literally stared at her. I don't know if they were coming out of your shop or what, but they were dressed in 1940s. Yeah, no, it was 1940s, 1930s, 40s attire, but like normal day wear, but it looked like they just came out of a war movie, like from the 40s. And she was beautiful. She was blonde with his curls, with his hat on. And I wish I had her body because she also looked really, really nice. I mean, I got to say, and we all stared at for, okay, it was fun. But at the same time, for wow, I wish we go back to the elegance because I don't know you, but I saw some weird stuff during the Biennale days.
Yeah, no, it was fun because many people were looking for the last minute dress to
Yeah,
wear for an event.
yeah.
So we saw many interesting garments in that week.
So, as somebody that is overweight and oversized and over whatever, do you have plus sizes as well, or do you just keep it, the clothing that fits the thin people?
Well, we have everything. Unfortunately, we cannot really control what
Well,
gets
obviously
the
it's
store.
vintage because, of course, you get what you get. You don't, I realize that. But do you get also
Yeah, yeah,
sometimes
yeah.
plus? Okay.
Yeah,
Because
we had any size. We also have like from plus sizes to very tiny like shoes or very tiny dresses that are almost that are very old and they look like they were made for kids. But
oh wow, okay. So you
so
actually saw that you see the change of in trends and stuff. By the way, what's the oldest piece of vintage you ever had in the shop so far in the last 2 years?
um I mean, now we have a really, really beautiful brooch from probably early 20th century,
Oh, okay.
even before probably. But
I love the way you say it is early 20th century. And I'm thinking, girl, it's 19, it was in 19, I was born in 1969. So he was not that old, but yes, he's actually 120 years old. And I'm thinking, oh, 20th century, what you talking about? Both of you and your colleague, you're all young girls. What are you in your 20s?
we are in our 30s.
Oh, really? Well, you don't look it. Yeah, I thought you were in your 20s. Okay, let's see. Working in vintage helps you stay young as well. Okay, so a brooch, a nice one.
Yeah, and
Okay.
we also had some very nice like silk garments from some historical brands from Venice, like Roberto
Okay.
di Camerino,
Of course, of course.
Jesorum.
Mm. Oh, oh, okay.
We have
Mm.
some also some accessories like some earrings from Murano that are from the 40s,
Oh,
50s, and
wow.
yeah.
Okay. I need to come over and have a look at them. I know I'm always busy, whatever, but I'll make an effort to come and see you girls. So let's talk about your logo. The lion sticking the tongue out.
Yeah, so that
Why this? I mean, I
well,
love it, and but why?
I think that it connects with the spirit of the store because there's this naked lady. She's wearing only stiletto shoes and she's holding a sword in her hand, riding
Mm-hmm.
the lion of San Marco.
Mm-hmm.
The lion is a bit crazy looking. She looks at her with his tongue out, and it's taken from a medieval marble relief that is in Venice. That's
Mm-hmm.
probably my touch because I'm graduated in art history, so I'm like always
Okay.
like
Okay.
references
Okay.
and stuff. But yeah, it's a fun logo that connects to the spirit of
Of the
irony.
show.
Let's say the irony is a bit of our own weapon. So
Uh-huh.
we like to think about like an apologetic
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well,
feminine.
I think irony and being able to laugh at themselves is unfortunately is what's missing by the Venetian in the
Mhm.
last couple of generations. They take themselves way too seriously, way too seriously. Last questions,
Yeah.
because I know you got your
Oh,
delivery man coming.
can I just say one thing
Yeah, of
that
course, of course.
sometimes, I being inside of the shop, I hear a lot of people laughing at the name because we have a neon sign saying Maranteghe.
Of course.
But we had also some people, just some Venetians,
Yeah.
being like, "But you're not a Marantega. Marantega is an old lady. Why are you calling Marantega?" And then,
It's not just old ladies. It's Maranteghe is beachy people, you
yeah, and
know.
some of them are like, "Why did you choose Marantega? It's like a bad
It
word."
just,
So,
yeah, they just
uh,
don't get it. Yeah, yeah. I repeat, they
yeah,
don't know how to laugh at themselves. So last question, and then you can go to your delivery man. Allora,
yeah.
if Maranteghe were not a shop, but it was a woman or a group of women, let's say, walking through Venice at night, what would she be? What would she wear? And where would she go?
Well, if Marantege was just one person, she would probably be a mysterious lady
Mm-hmm.
with a big hat, and you could only see maybe a like red lipstick popping
Mm-hmm.
out. You couldn't tell her age, and she would be walking slowly, maybe with a cigarette in her hand, giving the impression of somebody who has nowhere really specific to go, but she would
Mm-hmm.
probably be meeting with other Maranteghe and going to a party.
I like that. Oh, I really like that. Okay, so let's tell people where they can find you in Venice and then where they can find you online.
So we are in Venice, in Cannaregio, Campiello della Cason, and Campiello Santa Maria Nova. It's about 15 minutes walk from the train station and 10 minutes from Rialto Bridge. And they can find us online on the website maranteghe.it
Mhm.
and Maranteghe on Instagram, TikTok,
Eh,
Facebook, etc.
Oh, and everything on all the social medias because of course you got a social media manager, which is good.
Yeah, no, it's great.
And that is why the moment I said, "Can I interview?" she went immediately, her eyes went like, "Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah, of course, of course, of course, of course." Right, Laura, it was so nice talking to you. Can't wait to come. I can't wait to have a party to go to and try to see if I can find something different because I like to, well, you obviously noticed that I always try to have something that nobody else has. I truly believe in, being unique in your style and style. In fact, I have my own weird style that nobody understands, but that's fine. I understand it.
Yeah, but that's the beauty of vintage, I think, because it's not just ethical and sustainable, but also it's fun because you really can express yourself with pieces that are unique
Exactly. As that's what I was saying before. Now everybody looks the same because you can. It doesn't matter which shop you go to. They all look the same. It's just so bland. Everything. I like, I like to express who I am. I mean, I don't go that crazy, but let's say I'm more in the line with Peggy Guggenheim than not than let's say somebody dressing in black. I mean, you know. Okay, listen, it was so nice talking to you and all the best. And thank you again for being on the show. Ciao, ciao.
Thank you, Monica. Ciao.
Ciao, ciao. Thank you again, Laura, for the wonderful chat. You can find Maranteghe at www.maranteghe.it and on all social medias as @Maranteghe. Thank you again for listening. Venice Talks podcast is a production of Sentire Media, created, produced and hosted by me, Monica Cesarato. Follow Venice Talks wherever you get your podcast, and if you want to book a food tour or a cooking experience with me, you can find me over at www.monicacesarato.com and on all social medias with the handle @MonicaCesarato, where you can follow my adventures around Venice. And don't forget, if you love this episode, please rate it and leave a review. It's very much appreciated.